Sofiatul Raunakia binti Muhammad Rahim. She's an English teacher currently attached to SK Putrajaya Persin 16-1. She'll be sharing with us practical ideas for online teaching. She's a co-founder of Dewa Edu Resources, a company which its niche is to teach IT-related courses, and so far have delivered around 30 courses. And Miss Sophia has won Anugerah Guru PDPR Creative in 2020. Before we start, I would like to invite our Vice President, Miss Teh B. Kim, to give her speech. Over to you, Miss Teh. Mr. Vicky? Okay, I guess is the line. All right, perhaps later after Miss Sophia has shared her talk for today, then we can invite Miss Vicky again. All right, over to you, Miss Sophia.
Hi everyone, good morning. Assalamualaikum. My name is Sophia Turaunakia, more familiarly known as Sophia Rahim on Facebook. And today is going to be a very santai session, I would say. I'm sure that I'll be learning from all of you as well. So I've prepared a module for you all. I'll place the module in the chat a little later on. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen now. All right, so you all can see what is it that I'm sharing, right?
Yes, yes, Miss Sophia.
All right. Okay, so today I'm going to be sharing, as the title of this talk, 1 hour of practical ideas for online teaching. And some of the apps that I'll be covering in today's sharing is basically shown on my poster here. Okay, I intend to cover both management aspect and teaching aspect. We've been teaching for almost 2 years now, distance learning, and I find that both are equally important, especially considering that we are considerably new in online teaching, distance learning, and so on and so forth. So I hope to cover all of these, attendance, work submission, grading, live responses with selection available, assessment, content management, and live class management. I do want to say that since I'm only given 1 hour, I would not be able to go into depth on all of the apps, but I will be providing videos and links to my Facebook page and also other tutorials so that you can refer to those apps a little later on, right? Okay, so I don't want to waste any more time. Okay, the first one is attendance. All right, for attendance, I see a lot of I know that there are some teachers from overseas. I'm not sure how it's done overseas in other countries, but here in Malaysia, teachers are to take attendance and report that attendance into a particular portal. And so most teachers have resorted to use Google Forms, which is a very good app actually. Some use Telegram polls. I personally use a Google Classroom. And I know that a lot of teachers in Malaysia, we use Google Classroom, and yet we only use that platform for students' work submission, which I think is such a shame that you are not using it for attendance as well, because it's so much easier for students and parents when everything is just in one platform. Because I see a lot of teachers, they have the Google Classroom for work submission, and then they have the link for their students' attendance in Google Form. So I think that we can actually just combine both attendance and work submission in Google Classroom, right? And as for Google Forms, I see that a lot of teachers they either make it too simple in the sense that it only has the student's name, date, and student's name and date. And then there are other teachers who like make it quite complicated, where they need to enter formulas and then download certain templates and whatnot. I think that I found the sweet spot where it's not exactly a tech-savvy method, but it's not super simple and it's really effective. Okay, I'll show you how. Okay, for the first one, this is on how to take attendance in Google Classroom. Okay, so I've been using this method and I absolutely love it. Okay, I'll be showing you the video. Okay, so firstly, when you go to Google Classroom, you simply have to click on classwork and you click on create, okay? And then you choose question, okay? Not assignment, but question. And then you can write the day, write the date, sorry, for example, 27th of August, and you can write something like, were you present during today's meet? Or have you checked out our latest assignment? Because sometimes we're not doing live classes all the time, right? Okay, so you pose such a question, and then here, this part here, the short answer part here, you change it to multiple choice. And the choice, you only need to provide one, which is yes. And if you're teaching multiple classes like me, you can just simply assign it to 4 classes simultaneously. It can even be 10 classes, 20 classes, whatever. And my way, I would like to assign such a question on the very day that I teach, so that they don't turn in it earlier than the class itself. And then I would also like to set the time just merely half an hour after class. All right, so because I truthful as possible. And then I would choose the topic attendance, so that students can easily refer. Okay, under the topic attendance, there's going to be attendance of the day. And what I really like about this method is that you can immediately see students who are present in class and students who are absent in class. Okay, and say if you were to have that Google Meet right now, what I would do is I basically would share the tab, the Google Classroom tab, and I can cross-check whether the students in the Google Meet are right now present in my class. All right. And for me, attendance is incredibly important, that you know students who are absent rather than who are present. All right. And so this comes to my second method, which is using Google Forms. You see, a lot of teachers, when they use Google Forms, they only collect data on which students are present instead of which students are absent, because then they have to do another process where they have to cross-check the names with a name list. And I think that's just one more step to do. I'll show you a simpler method. Okay, my method of doing the attendance in Google Forms is that the first question is going to be class. Okay, so I would totally do multiple classes in just one Google Form. You don't need multiple forms for one for each class. And then I would create a section for each class, right? So if there's 3 classes that I'm putting in my Google Forms, there's going to be 3 more sections lah. And then under each section, there's going to be the name list of each student. Okay, and this part is incredibly important. For the name list, okay, it is important that you do not choose multiple choice or drop down, but you choose check boxes, okay, like this. It's incredibly important, and I will tell you why later on. And then after you're done with all the sections, like here, okay, I'll be giving you the model, and you can refer to my videos later on if it's a bit too fast, okay. You have the sections, all of that, and then what you do is you choose this part here, go to section based on answer, all right? And then you simply have to match the classes to the section. So 5 orchid with the 5 orchid section, 5 petuna with what 5 petuna section, so on and so forth. And then make sure that after each section, you click on submit form, so that students would not have to go through other people's name list before submitting their forms. Okay, and the reason why I really like checkboxes is that when students enter their data, you can immediately see which students have submitted their presence and which students have not. Okay, for example, here we can see that Siti has submitted her attendance, but Abu and Ali have not. I really like I said, for me, it's incredibly important for when taking attendance, you know immediately which students are absent. Okay. So this is why I like using checkboxes instead of multiple choice or drop down. All right. So that's on attendance. Okay, now on to work submission. Okay. Work submissions, there are several methods that you can do work submission. I know a lot of teachers like using WhatsApp and Telegram as well. For me, the most systematic way is, of course, Google Classroom and Google Forms. If you're feeling a little bit more tech savvy, you might want to integrate Google Forms with Google Data Studio. This part is a bit complicated to explain, and I won't be going into that, but I will be giving you the link on what you can refer later on. Okay, and if you're using Google Form and you don't want to integrate it with Data Studio or whatever, I do suggest that you design your Google Form in a way that your students' responses are automatically categorized according to their students' names. Like right now, if you simply create your Google Form where students have to upload their work, when you check the Google Drive, all of their work is in one Google Drive folder, which is file responses. Okay, and so I thought of a method where you can actually create your Google Form in a way that is categorized automatically, okay, according to their name. So each student will have their own folder. All right, so if you want the tutorial for that, I've provided the link. Okay, you can refer to it later. It's a bit complicated to show you from A to Z. And now for the grading part. Sorry if I'm going like super fast. I really hope to cover everything today. And next is grading. All right, for grading, for me, it's very tiresome when you have to open each of your kids' work one by one. Okay, for me, I'm using Google Classroom, right? So whenever I accept work, there'll be like, I'm teaching like around 100 kids. So there'll be like 100 folders every time I give an assignment. Okay, so that is incredibly tiresome. And what I found is that you can actually combine all of your students' work into one PDF and mark their work as bulk, right, in one book. And this is how I do it. Okay. Okay, first of all, if you're using Google Classroom, right? If you're using Google Classroom, what you need to do is you simply have to pick an assignment that you want to mark. For example, I want to pick this assignment here, which is snap a healthy plate. You click on the icon, which brings you to the Google Drive. And then what you do is you have to download all of this as one zip file. Okay, so you can easily do that by clicking at the top here. And then after it's downloaded, the zip file will be available in your downloads. Okay. Sorry, I'm afraid that you missed that part. Hang on. And if you've downloaded the plugin that I showed you just now, it will give you the option to convert and combine all files into one continuous PDF file, right? So this is what I would do if I'm feeling particularly lazy. So I click continue. Okay, I've already saved my file, so that's why it says, do you want to replace it? Okay, so now the file is in my documents. And as you can see, all of my students' work is in one PDF file. So it's incredibly easy for me to mark as a teacher. I can just like do it in one go instead of opening the folders one by one, right? So I really like this method. The only downside to this method is that you do have to remind your students to write their names on their work, because their names won't be apparent unless they write it down. And this method, you can do it even if you're using WhatsApp or Telegram for your platform. For your platform. All right. Okay, so hang on. So if you're not using Google Classroom like me, if you're using Telegram and WhatsApp, you can download these two apps in the Google Play Store. One is called PDF Merge, create and combine text, image, and web page, and the other one is Zodo PDF Reader. Okay, so I know because Telegram and WhatsApp are not really systematic, and sometimes it can get overwhelming. So you might want to opt for this method. Okay, so this is how I do it. Okay, first download the two apps that I've just said. Okay. Pardon, is anyone saying something? Okay, so the first app is PDF Merge. Okay, so when you have downloaded the two apps, what you do is you open the PDF Merge app, okay? And then since most of your students' work when they submit it through WhatsApp or Telegram is usually in the form of JPEG or PNG, so you choose JPEG to PDF. Okay, you click on JPEG to PDF. Okay, this one here. And then you click on the plus button, you click on files on this device. Okay, and then you can just simply choose the folder where your students' work are available. So if it's Telegram, then you choose the folder Telegram. Okay, I don't have any students' work in my Telegram folder because I'm not using Telegram. But this is just an example. So imagine that these are all students' work, and then you click on the button that's like an arrow at the bottom here. And then you might want to enter whatever file name that you wish, okay? And then you save it like this, okay? And then you open it through Zodo PDF. That option will be automatically available to you if you have downloaded the Zodo PDF app. And then imagine if okay, so imagine these are all students' work. Okay, so with Zodo PDF, it provides you with a pen, some text, some sort of function. So you can you can write text on your students' work. You can use the pen to, write their work. Okay, mark their work like that. Save a copy. Okay. So imagine like this. Okay, so this is me marking their work, right? And you can even write comments like excellent work or whatever. And when you're done, you can simply send your work through the WhatsApp or through the Telegram app. So students can just simply open the PDF file, find their work, and see that their work is already marked. Okay, so I really like this method. I know that we can get real burnout from marking students' work online. And if you want a thorough tutorial on what I've just shared, you can click on my links, the links that I'm showing right now. It will bring you to my Facebook page lah. All right. Next is live responses with no answer selection. All right. Live responses with no answer selection are apps that I would use during my live classes. All right. Usually, when I want them to write their answers and I want them to have individual whiteboards, for instance, and I don't want them to choose from a selection of answers, I would choose these four apps. All right. So the two apps that I like to use most are Classkick and Whiteboard Feed. My viewboard I haven't actually used, but I know that I've read about it. I've seen the YouTube videos. I really do suggest that you test this out as well. It's very suitable for secondary teachers and secondary students. All right. Padlet is for discussions, really, because with Padlet, when students type in their answers, all of the other students can see it as well. So it's better for discussions and not really suitable when you want individual answers, because they tend to just copy what their friends have written, right? So I like using Classkick and Whiteboard Feed because they would not be able to see their friends' answers. Okay, Classkick and Whiteboard Feed is extremely similar. They're just minor differences. This, what I'm showing right now, is Whiteboard Feed. What I like about Whiteboard Feed is that you can export it to PDF. So after you're done with your class and you want evidence for your PBD, Malaysian teachers, we have something called PBD, which is classroom-based assessment, and sometimes we need to keep track of our evidence. So you can export it to PDF after you are done with class. It has unlimited rooms, meaning that you can use this as many times as you want, but it's temporary in the sense that when the whiteboards are around, if I'm not mistaken, 2 hours inactive, it will vanish. Like you can't get it back, all right? And it needs a pro version to mark students' work. So you can see students' work. This is the teacher's view, by the way. You can see students' work, but you cannot mark it. So usually when I'm using Whiteboard Feed, I would just verbally comment. Like I say, okay, Anas, that is indeed the correct question. Well done. Okay. For Amar Hazik, number 2 is not quite correct, so on and so forth, all right? So I'll be showing you a short tutorial on how to use Whiteboard Feed. All right. Let's see if I can get this big. It's loading a bit. Wait, huh? I'm not sure why it's loading. Hang on. Okay. All right. So what you do is you go to whiteboardfeed.com. You write your name. You write your email. You don't need to register for an account actually. Okay. This I write my name, Sophia Rahim, and then my email. Okay. If you want your students to be accepted first before they can enter, you enable waiting room lobby. If it's not important to you, you don't need to do that. And then you can just create, all right? And then what happened is that you will be automatically given the link. When you're having your live classes, you copy this URL and you paste it in the chat. Okay, and I'm going to be showing you what the student sees. Okay, so when you copy, okay, and when students click on that link, okay, they write their names, they click join whiteboard class. And if you haven't written anything on the whiteboard, they will also receive a blank whiteboard, okay? And what students have, they have several tools. I only teach my kids 3 tools because they're primary school kids, and I think 3 tools are more than sufficient, which is the draw tool, the text tool, and also the picture tool. So if they need to upload pictures or whatever, they can use that. Okay, so for example, say I've uploaded a picture, I've written my name using text and also using the draw function. Okay, now I'm going to be showing you what the teacher would see, right? Okay, so we go back to the teacher view, and you can see that under the students' whiteboards, you can automatically see Siti Sarah's progress. Okay, now it does not necessarily have to be a blank whiteboard. You can Google a worksheet, or you can create your own worksheet. Okay, and you can upload it into your Whiteboard Feed, and then you can push this assignment to your students. Okay, so when you push this assignment to your students, again, I'm going to be showing you Siti Sarah's view. Okay, and she's going to be seeing the worksheet that you've just pushed. Okay. Okay, so automatically on her whiteboard will have she will have the worksheet that you've just uploaded. Okay, so this worksheet is about circling nouns. So she'll be circling all the nouns. Okay, and then again automatically in the teacher's view, you can see Siti Sarah's progress in real time. Okay, this is because it is only Siti Sarah, but if you have like 40 students, you're going to have all 40 students whiteboards, and you can see all of their work at the same time. Okay, so I really like using Whiteboard Feed because of that. And Classkick works in the same sense. Okay. Sorry. Classkick works in the same sense. It just have minor differences where with Classkick, you need to, hang on, why is it not? Okay. Okay, with Classkick, you need a pro version to export the students' work to PDF. There's limited rooms, meaning that you're not going to be able to do it unlimitedly unless you subscribe to the pro version. However, if you delete your previous rooms, you will always have, a stock of 20 rooms. Okay, but what's different with Classkick and Whiteboard Feed is that it has no time limit, meaning that like with Whiteboard Feed, after 2 hours of inactivity, it will automatically vanish. But with Classkick, there's no time limit, meaning that students can totally go back to the assignment later on, even after class. Okay, so and you can mark students' work even with the basic version. And what I really like about Classkick is that you can set the marks for each assignment, and you can mark your students' work with points. Like for example, here I've graded the students' work straight away during live classes. All right. Okay. So I'm going to be showing you a video on how to use Classkick. In terms of friendliness, I think Whiteboard Feed is a little bit easier in comparison to Classkick. All right. So here it is. So you just simply go to classkick.com. You continue with Google. All right. And then you click on the plus button on the right hand side. Okay. Usually I don't like using any more than one whiteboard. So I usually delete. It will provide you straight away with 3. You can delete those. Okay. Set the marks. Okay. If I want it to be blank, I can do so. If I want it to have like some sort of worksheet background like I did with Whiteboard Feed, I can do that as well. And then when I assign it to students, okay, okay, this is me assigning it to students. The tools provided to students are also very similar to Whiteboard Feed. They also have the draw icon, they also have the text icon, and they also have the upload picture function, right? So this, they have to write in their names, okay, like this. Okay, wait for it to load. Okay, so like I said, the draw function, and then the text function, and also the upload picture function. Okay, and teachers, this is the teacher view. So if you have 40 students, there's going to be a lot of mini whiteboards on your screen. All right. So that is Classkick. Okay. Now for live responsive with selection. Okay, so there's so many assessment apps, but my favorite has to be quizzes, even though it's very common and lots of people know about it already. What I like about quizzes the most is that it provides you with 2 modes. One is the instructor paced mode, and also the other one is the student paced mode. And what I like about the instructor paced mode is that you as the teacher, you will be the ones controlling the pace of the questions. All right, so I'll be the one clicking next question, next question, next question. So we can review the questions one by one, and we can straight away see which students have got the answers correct, which students have got it wrong, and I can explain straight away why is this the correct answer and why is this the incorrect answer. So it's very fun. It has got music. Students are always excited to use it, even though it doesn't matter how many times you use it in class. Yeah, and I really like it in a lot of ways. It got the timer and everything. So yes, quizzes. All right, and now for assessment. Okay, assessment in this aspect, I meant like worksheets and whatnot. I like 2 apps, TeacherMade and LiveWorksheets.com. These are the 2 best apps for me in making digital worksheets. I like TeacherMade a little bit more in terms of ease of use. So if you're not very tech savvy, I highly recommend that you choose TeacherMade over LiveWorksheets.com. But LiveWorksheets.com has more functions than TeacherMade. So if you are willing to spend some time to go through all the tutorials for live worksheets, then you may want to use live worksheets. All right, okay, now I can't be teaching. Usually when I'm teaching TeacherMate, I need at least 1 hour. So I'll be showing you a little bit on how to use TeacherMate, just like very brief. Okay. So basically you have to create your assignment you have to do so by uploading a PDF. And when you have uploaded your PDF, you will be granted several selections. There's like, okay, I'll pause it here. You can see short answer, drop down, open answers, matching, true, false, multiple choice, check boxes, and then there's hotspot, math, teacher text, image, audio recording, color block, and link. All right. So you've got plenty of choices. All right. Now I'm going to be showing you how easy it is actually. All right. Fast forward a little bit. All right, this is me using the checkbox function. Okay. So you just simply click on checkbox, you click on transparent, okay, and then how you set the answers to be correct, you just simply have to you simply have to click on the correct answer. Okay, so then you're done. Okay, you're set. Okay, so that is checkbox, and then multiple choice is similar. Hang on. This is me putting in the audio. Okay, multiple choice, you just simply click insert multiple choice. And then if you want to set what's the answer, you want to set the answer, you just simply click on the correct answer, right? With checkbox, it can have more than one correct answer. With multiple choice, there can only be one correct answer. So that's the difference between checkbox and multiple choice. This is matching, okay? So you simply have to connect two of the choices. Okay, save changes there. You can watch this in your own free time and see how is it that I do it. Okay, it's quite long, it's around 8 minutes. This is fill in the blanks, all right? So you can set the correct answer there. Okay, and what I like about TeacherMate here, especially if you're a language teacher, I'm sure that there are many English language teachers today. What I like about TeacherMate is that you can set your pause here. You can set your students' answer that whether their answers must match the case, upper or lower to be correct. You can set whether you want to ignore punctuation or not. So if you're very particular about punctuation, you must ensure that you tick this box and uncheck this box, right? If you are the type that you're not very particular with punctuation, as long as the answer is correct, okay, then you simply uncheck this box but check this box, right? The ignore punctuation box, right? So that is TeacherMate, okay? Sorry. Okay, now for content management, all right? For content management, I suggest that you use this if you are not already using Google Classroom. Okay, in Google Classroom, your content is pretty much already sorted, so it's very easy to use. But I know that some teachers, especially if they're teaching in rural areas, they don't tend to use Google Classroom as it can be quite complicated sometimes. So if you're not using Google Classroom, I highly suggest that you use this app called MyLink. And what MyLink does is that it helps you create some sort of dashboard where all of your necessary links are in the form of a button. So students can simply click on the buttons and they will be directed to all the content that you already sorted. Okay, so this is the one that I've made for my dad. Okay, so my dad is Ustaz Rahim. And if you want a tutorial on this, you can find it on YouTube, but I've also provided a tutorial on my Facebook page. Again, you can click on these two later. And okay, there's one aspect of MyLink that some people may not know, and that is how do you actually insert links for videos? Because as you know, teachers, we have so many videos, right? We can't actually do one button, one video, because with my link, there's only a limit of 15 links. So how do you actually go around that problem? Okay, what I do is I would create a YouTube playlist, right? So this is how I would do it. So what you would do is, if you open your YouTube, if you're the type to create your own videos, right? You click content, okay? You click on the video that you want to add to the playlist, okay? And then you click add to playlist. If you have not yet have the playlist, so you simply have to create it. For example, I create the playlist Form 4 English, okay? And then you can just click on every other video that can be categorized under Form 4 English. You add it to playlist. And when you go to playlist, you take the link of the playlist. All right. So students will have the link to all the videos at once. So you don't have to create one link for one video. Right. And if you're not the type of teacher to create your own content, you rely heavily on other teachers for their videos, that is totally fine as well. I do like using this method because I know that not all of us are skilled in making our own videos. So what you do is you can just go to any video at all. You click on the three dot here and you click save to playlist. All right. So that will also be added into the playlist. And what's good is that you don't have to update the link multiple times. You can just simply update your playlist and automatically when the students click on the button, the playlist is updated, right? Okay, now we are almost done actually. Okay, I have to leave a bit of time for Q&A. This is the live class management aspect. And my favorite is called classroom screen, all right? So classroom screen, and I really like it because it has everything that a teacher needs to control the class. This is a tutorial by Cikgu Nurun. Okay, I'll be showing you her tutorial. Okay, so in classroom screen, you can insert slides, you can insert videos, you can have a name picker, traffic light, timer. Okay, so yeah, okay, I've experimented with this app before. So you've got the whiteboard. So for example, in the middle of the lesson, you need further explaining to do. So you can just simply click on this draw button and you can write further explanation. You can type in your explanation. And then when you want to control the class, you can use the timer or the traffic light. If you want to pick out student's name, you can use the name picker. You can have everything all in one portal. And I really like that about classroom screen. Okay, so now I'm going to just be showing you the rest of Cikgu Nurun's video. Boleh embed masuk dalam classroom screen. Okay, copy link itu, kemudian tengok dia tak berubah. Okay, kemudian boleh selesaikan nak bersamanya. Okay, kemudian tunjukkan macam mana nak masukkan YouTube dalam classroom screen. Okay, kita pergi pada YouTube. Setelah pelatihan yang kita guna, klik pada lagu tersebut, kemudian dapatkan link, copy link lagu tersebut. Okay, kemudian kembali semula kepada classroom screen. Okay, pada YouTube tu, kemudian kita pastekan link YouTube tersebut. Okay, contoh saya ajak anak peras saya. Hari ini saya nak ajar tentang Emma and uniform. Tak bolehlah polis. Okay, jom. Dengan cikgu. Saya tak ada murid saya. Okey, Anas. Anas juga jadi polis, Anas. Sekolah ya. Kita guna penangkap lah. Someone commented that they cannot hear clearly. All right. So I'm giving you the link for the module. Okay. I'm giving you the link, the module. The audio is clear there. Okay. I've given the link to everyone, I think. All right. Okay. And so you can refer to the module. I've activated all the links in that module, so you can just click on it. With classroom screen. Okay. I'm sorry that the audio is not clear. Okay. I'll be explaining a little bit. And you can actually refer to the video. The explanation is very clear. So if you want to insert your insert the Google Slides, or you want to insert the slides that you've gotten from Canva, you can do that. You can, for Google Slides, the option is published to the web. For Canva, you have to get the embed link and you insert that in the classroom screen app. For YouTube, you just simply have to put in the link, and your YouTube will be appeared in this classroom screen app. And then all the other buttons are all very easy. No need links or whatever. And yeah, I think that's very easy lah. All right. Okay, so.
Miss Sophia, perhaps if you were to find you on Facebook or YouTube, can you share us your Facebook name?
Oh yeah, I'll be sharing it a little bit now. Hang on.
Okay.
So basically, we're finished with our today's presentation. Okay, thankfully I managed to cover. I'm very sorry that I was not able to go into depth for all the apps. It's more of an exposure on the apps that I've been using for the past almost 2 years. What I've experimented with a lot, and the apps that I've shown you are the ones that I find relatively easy, teacher friendly, student friendly, does not require high levels of IT knowledge at all. Okay, so if you want to follow me, my Facebook is Sophia Rahim. I do have to warn you though that not all my posts are IT related. It's going to be a mixture of my rants and everything, but I do occasionally share tutorials on apps. There are other 2 people that I've been following as well. Ailisa Azmi, she's a Google certified trainer. She trains a lot of other teachers as well. Nuna Wawa she's the one who's been sharing about the Classroom Screen app, and she's also a very avid sharer on IT apps, so I like her a lot as well. And then on TikTok, you can refer to Coach Harry. This is Jay, by the way. You can go to TikTok. He has so many sharings on IT related apps. I find it to be extremely useful. And then,
TikTok, what's the name? Sorry, Miss Sophia, what's the name again for TikTok?
Coach Harry J.
Coach Harry J, J-A-Y.
Yeah. So Herryj. So the font is a bit weird. That's a J, by the way. And then if you want to go on YouTube, these are the 4 YouTubes that I really like using, that I refer to a lot. Cikgu Ruth, she is a teacher in Malaysia, and she has around 30,000 subscribers. Her sharings is absolutely amazing. I adore her a lot. The EdTech show with Dan Spada and New EdTech Classroom, these are from overseas. They also share a lot of apps that you can refer to. Pocketful of Primary is also, she's an American teacher. So her sharings are also very, very interesting. All right. So I hope, I'm sorry that there's actually so much that I want to share. I hope that with the 1 hour that I've been granted, I've been able to share something that have been benefit to you all. So now there's like around 15 more minutes. Is there any questions?
Yeah, any questions?
Yeah, I would like to ask, like, let's say I am teaching students communication. I want to test their speaking skills.
All right.
So which platform do you think is suitable?
Okay, for speaking, do you want to evaluate them right in class, or like it's some sort of assignment that they have to do?
Maybe assignment and to assess them as well.
Okay, so I would suggest the same app that I use for assessment, which is TeacherMate and Live Worksheet. With TeacherMate and Live Worksheet, you both have the option where students, when they receive that worksheet, they can record their voice, all right? The difference is that with TeacherMate, you have to subscribe to the pro version, all right? But for live worksheets, if I'm not mistaken, it's still free. And what I really like it, for example, on the worksheet, I might want to write, please describe yourself for 1 minute. Okay, so students, when they see that, they can simply click on the icon, the record icon, and they can record what is it that they need to do lah. So those two apps then, the assessment apps.
Okay, we have a question.
Your question.
Yes, Miss Danish.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Okay, we have a question here from Miss Wendy Tay. She
Mhm.
asks, is it hard for students to adapt to different tools? What are some of the problems that they might face?
Okay, I'm teaching primary school students, but I'm teaching level 2. I'm not quite sure what is the level for level 1 with distance learning. But with level 2 students, primary school, I find it that it's quite easy for them to adapt. But I do have to say that I'm teaching in Putrajaya, where students are fairly, knowledgeable in IT. So I don't know if I speak for every student out there. But yeah, they don't actually struggle that much with adapting with apps. But I do suggest that you don't introduce them with so many apps every single week. Like there was this 1 week where I was in experimentation mode, so I used a lot of apps. I did ask them to be patient for a while because I really wanted to experiment which apps are the best for them. But after I found the ones that I really like, I stick to that same app throughout the rest of my PDPR lah. All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. About the apps, Whiteboard Feed.
Yeah. Okay. Whiteboard Feed.
Okay. I have tried it before, but I am unable to save my teaching materials. So is it like before class, I prepare the Whiteboard Feed and push to the students, or can I prepare a few days earlier?
Whiteboard Feed is tricky because it has some sort of time limit where if it's inactive, it would automatically disappear. So if you do want to create some sort of assignment where you prepare a few days earlier, I'd suggest that you use Classkick instead of Whiteboard Feed. Whiteboard Feed is usually something that I use if I want a quick response from the students. Then Classkick is something that I would use if I want live responses, but something that I can go back to later. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
We have another question from Manuneti. All right. She asks, what are the other apps that we can use for writing lesson?
Okay, for writing lessons, I really like. It really depends, because for writing, there's so many ways of writing. What is it that you want them to do? I try to vary my methods. Like for example, for writing, I like using those assessment apps that I've said. Like for example, I try to ask them to do speeches in a comic app. So you can Google create your own comics online. Okay, there's this one app, I can't remember what it's called. Comic. I need to refer to it. The tutorial is on my Facebook. I will refer to it later. Maybe I add it into the Google slide. So students have a bit of fun. They can show off their writing skills through comic writing.
Yes.
They might want to do their writing through live worksheet. What I do is I simply create an open answer box. Okay, an open answer box, and students can type in their answers there. Other than that, I think it goes back to the same apps really. I don't like using so many apps that it confuses the students. Any apps recommended for group work during PDPR? I really like using a Padlet for group work. I just used this last week where students have to brainstorm on how to create a poster for an endangered species, and they all have to like work in groups. They all were assigned a particular animal, and with Padlet, they can see their friends answers as well, so they can see, okay, which information is not yet available. They can chip in where it is necessary. So like I like using Padlet if you are talking about group work.
Okay, there's another question from Miriam Puente. If she asked that if we were working with students aged 6 to 7, that would be year 1 and year 2, right? So what app would you recommend for assessment?
Sorry, can you repeat your question? Sorry.
Okay, Miriam Puente asked that if we were working with lower primary, which is their age 6 to 7, all right? What app would you recommend to for assessment?
Okay, I dare say only for something that I've used before, right? Okay, so I've used quizzes with my lower primary. I was teaching lower primary back in 2018. I've used quizzes since 2018, and the students adapt extremely quickly quizzes because it's very easy, right? Simply when they click on the link, they write their names and they can just straight away enter the game. They have a lot of fun. Yeah, I would say quizzes is the best assessment app because the interface is very friendly. Even you as a teacher, you would not need multiple tutorials to understand how to create quizzes. So that would be the app of choice lah.
Okay, all right. Miss Grace asked here. She asked that regarding the compilation of students' work in one of the PDF that you merged, right? After marking, can it be unmerged and returned privately to each student for grading purposes on GC?
Okay. Regarding this question, you can do it by splitting PDF. Okay. Then if you Google split PDF, you can do that. I just find it I think that's extra work. What I would do is I would create a topic in Google Classroom and I will name the topic marked work. And so students can just go to that place and refer all of their marked work. Okay, so I would not because that's so, okay, the reason that I wanted it to be merged is that we can avoid opening folders one by one. So if you're splitting it again, that would be extra work. But if there is an app that can do that, that would be amazing. I do intend to suggest to app developers where you can merge and then unmerge. Okay, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Sophia, knowing that, you see, when we conduct our our virtual classroom, we will also would like to have like group work. So Miss Lei Hun Tan asked that any apps recommended for group work during our virtual classroom or our meet?
I've just answered that. I said you can use padlet.com if you want students to write in, you want them to chip in, you want them to brainstorm. Now with Google Meet, there's breakout rooms if you want them to have verbal discussions, verbal brainstorming. So you can also opt to do that. Yeah, I hope that answers lah.
Okay. So
I see some questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Not all students have laptops or computer to learn. Which platform do you think is suitable through mobile learning? All of the apps that I've shared here are apps that my students have used even when they are using just their mobile phones. I always remember to ask my students, are you comfortable using this app even though you are using mobile phones? So I've experimented, whether it's Whiteboard Feed or Classkick or quizzes or TeacherMate or live worksheets. These are all apps that I've myself seen what it looks like through my mobile phone, and I've asked my students' response on how comfortable are they using those apps. So you don't have to worry. All that I've suggested here are perfectly fine for students, even if they do not have laptops at home. Okay.
Okay, so I guess we have reached to the end of our session. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Sophia. I believe that, being a teacher in the new norm, our tools are no longer physical. The tools shared here, Miss Sophia, will surely help us as teachers as well as educators to enrich our virtual classroom and definitely help us to be more effective online. From your sharing, from attendance, creating Google Forms, categorizing students automatically, combining all your students' work in one PDF files for more convenient way of marking, grading using apps such as Classkick, Whiteboard Feed. Definitely, I'm going to use that as well. And giving individualized feedback on their work, Quizit, assessment tools like TeacherMate. Well, there's a lot, but I'm sure all of these, you know, I will definitely try it out, you know, especially Whiteboard Feed. You know, I see that when we have more tools, definitely it will help us to become more effective online. Thank you so much, Miss Sophia. We have a really good, I would say that this is a very fruitful sharing, and I hope that, you know, we can see, we will have more sharing from you again. All right, for all of us here, thank you very much. And on behalf of Pelta, Miss Sophia, thank you very much for the sharing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Pelta, for inviting me. I do apologize for any shortcomings on my behalf. I hope that the slides help you. It's just exposure. You can refer to my Facebook post and other YouTube tutorials. All right.
Yeah, don't
Okay,
forget to follow Miss Sophia on Facebook.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Sophia, could you just stop your share so that we
Okay,
and everyone turn on your video so that we can take a photo?
Hang on.
And don't forget, everyone, before you leave, the attendance list is being posted. The link to get your cert, you have to fill in that attendance sheet with some brief feedback. And you should get your cert right in a few minutes after that. Check your emails. The cert goes to your emails after you fill in that the link. It should be posted in chat, and the link will be open for just maybe 1-2 hours after this. So make sure you fill in that link, okay? Right, we're seeing, come turn on your video so that we can actually take a very nice group photo. All right, good, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Good to see your faces, some we've not seen for a long time. Hi, Miriam, nice seeing you. Miriam, everyone's information, Miriam Priante is from Mexico. She's going to be one of the teachers who will be featured in our conference in November. Okay, she'll be joining us then. I hope to see you more often, Miriam. Okay, are you ready? Are you almost ready for a photo?
Yes.
Okay, right, smile. Right, wait just a minute. Let's take one more. Ready? Smile. Okay, let me take a photo of the next page. If not, they said they don't appear. Right. Ready? Smile. Great. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Nice seeing you. Hope to see you again.
Thank you.
Stay
Sophia,
safe.
thanks, Pelta.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank
you, Miss
Sophia. Thank you, Mrs. Kwa.
Thank you, Miss Sophia.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys, too.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sophia.
Pelta.
Thank you, Pelta.
Thanks, Pelta.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pelta and Miss Sophia.
Thank you.